Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 847 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me today in pretend low orbit, we have none other than Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, it has been such a great amount of time since we spoke. How are we today?
I'm a little sore. I did a lot of yard work yesterday.
You got a new rock coming.
No, that's today.
All right. And Rob?
No comment.
No comment. Oh, yeah. The things that we spoke of before the call started, you're doing fine.
Yeah, I'm doing.
You're doing fine. Well, let's see what we have on the big to-do list. Well, first of all, I got a really exciting game for Chris to play in front of all of us today. It's called Put the DVD Logo in the Corner.
Okay.
It's exactly what you think it would be. That just made me giggle. It's some dumb little Pico game. There was a link on there to actually play it. I played it for a minute, but it was not like super awesome. There you go. Play it on itch. Boop boop boop. It's so cute.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Very clever.
It's the game from The Office, made famous by The Office. I do kind of miss that era of screensaver.
Do you?
I do. And in fact, whenever like you're watching something that does do that screensaver, my wife and I absolutely like have the conversation like, is it going to hit the corner? Is it going to hit the corner? Ooh, no. And then we're mad. There you go. You got one.
Yay.
You did it. You lived the 90s.
My life is now fulfilled.
Yeah, you did
for one more day.
Good job. Now you can survive on that enthusiasm until Henry Cavill's Highlander comes out in theaters.
Uh-huh.
I love Highlander. And I like Henry Cavill.
And you like John
It's
Wick.
possible.
Sure.
So, sure. I'll cautiously not look forward to this too much.
Hopefully this comes out the same time the Time Bandits reboot does.
You know, I didn't put that one in.
Make a double feature.
I didn't put that one in, but I meant to, because yeah, they're doing the Time Bandits TV show on Apple TV. I did think it was interesting. I don't remember where I saw this, but I think it was they were talking about on How Did This Get Made. I think they were talking about how you can reference a lot of stuff from the 80s and like get a reaction from a younger crowd. But like there can be only one or whatever, like all the Highlander reference, that's gone. That's not something that really held into popular culture.
No, I don't think so. It's like expecting people to know what the Adrian Pasdar television show Prophet did for Vancouver science fiction.
Yeah, no, nobody knows that, Chris, except you.
Nobody knows that.
Because you like Vancouver for some reason. You have like a Vancouver fetish.
It's just I like the shows that are made there. It's very fun.
You mean all of them that aren't made in Atlanta?
Well, it's Toronto, Vancouver, Atlanta, and then some
New York
West
and
Coast
LA.
city. What was the name of the West Coast city that does a lot of the movies? Is that Orange County?
No, it's San Francisco.
San Fernandez.
I can't remember. What did they call it? What did they call it in Demolition Man?
Oh, I don't.
They like merged all of the West Coast cities into one, and I always thought that was very funny. But as we've discussed this before, I think Demolition Man is one of the best movies like ever. I think it's so great.
San Angeles.
There you go, San Angeles.
Yeah.
So yeah, they film in San Angeles.
Yeah, exactly. Or San Andreas, right?
No, that's just where they filmed that one movie
or
with
is that
The Rock.
Miami?
No, that's where Pitbull lives.
You're killing me.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, there's gonna be a Highlander movie. I'm sure it's gonna be really great. Cough. So we've had a few stories recently about sinkholes and DIY infrastructure. And we've got one about a dude who just dug under an overpass. And like
makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't post this one, did I? I might have. I just thought this was really weird. And there's some pictures up there at the beginning too. You can see like they had to really redo. That guy did damage.
I mean, what was he thinking?
I want a cool hole.
There's the Colin Furs. Maybe he was spotted in Everett, digging his tunnel. Tunnel YouTube, it's very popular.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Now, so.
It's huge. Now that everybody dug their own backyard swimming pools, now it's all underground tunnels and bunkers.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to go bigger.
Secret tunnel's pretty cool.
Secret bunker is even cooler.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I'd love a secret bunker, but I don't think I'd really use it. I don't think I'd get adequate usage for my investment.
The thing I'd say to you is, you say secret bunker, I hear hurricane shelter, right, or tornado shelter, right?
Right.
Well, you guys aren't in Tornado Alley though. Really.
No, but we got what is it? Hurricane Beryl, Cheryl, whatever weird, that was. Man. It shoved up into Michigan. Okay. And the problem is we don't have Wattaburger here. Oh. So click on the detecting power. I'm skipping 2 for you, Chris. Click on the detecting power outages during the hurricane. It's up a couple higher. So this is kind of like the Waffle House thing. Where you can detect the badness of an area by seeing when the Waffle Houses are closed. But somebody discovered that you can use the Wattaburger app essentially to the same effect. By seeing which Wattaburgers are closed, you can see the power outage. And I mean, I don't know how bad their power is, but it's probably comparable to the Southern Michigan power grid, which goes down when there's a breeze.
Yeah, no. A person close to me said, "Hey, look, Texas is having problems with power again. Who could have seen it coming?"
Right? Oh, our power is $1,000 a watt, says the only state where this regularly happens.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't lose power at all, but we did get 3 inches of rain. There are no Waffle Houses in Michigan that I am aware of.
Yeah,
no.
They do have
to go to. You have to go to Toledo before they start.
We do have Conies. We have lots of Conies.
Yeah, Coney 2012. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no Wattaburgers for me, unless the power comes back. Let's see. We've got, this is a funny one. The middle schoolers TikTok mob.
What is this?
I'm actually kind of surprised that there hasn't been more of this. But this was apparently like a bunch of middle schooler kids piled onto this. And they created 22 fake accounts. They were impersonating their teachers, and they were like saying like that the teachers are racist or pedos or whatever. And like, this is in middle school, man. Like this is, and I mean, I don't know if it probably wasn't 20 kids, but it was probably a lot of kids. More than 1 or 2. We don't pay school teachers enough. That's what I've come to realize. I know this is controversial.
I think that's an easy canard to fall back on.
Yeah.
I think we have some kids who deserve to be thrown in a chipper shredder. And their parents too.
Yes, on Baloo, we do have Tim Hortons. There's Tim Hortons at many gas stations in this area.
They've definitely spread across the border into Michigan. Sure.
In fact, in disclosure, I think my stepsister might be a franchise owner of one. Not that I've ever got a free Tim Horton. Lame. Yeah. We don't pay teachers enough, because I think about this a lot, because this is the kind of crap that they would do to us back in the day, right? They would post, they would forge emails. Yeah. They would let's see, we had forged emails. My personal pet peeve was in the mid 2000s, and I don't know when the policy officially changed, but we didn't delete comments. Like, we really didn't delete comments. Like, there were a few extreme cases where, like, if you hit /dot with a bot and posted like 1,000 comments in an hour, your comments, those would get deleted. But like if humans posted comments, even if they were really shitty, they basically just all went to -1, where they could still technically be found. But so then you'd have people who would post like, Rob deleted my post, which was just not true. But because you can't prove the negative, what am I gonna say? Like, so there were
No,
that was,
sure you can. You just say, no, it's at -1. Go look.
but they would just say, no, you deleted it, and that would just.
Okay, well then you move on.
No, I understand. This was my pet peeve from that era, because there's literally nothing you can do to prove that you didn't do like you're telling me to prove that moon elves stole your Christmas. Like
Except you could click something and then go to -1 and then prove that it was there.
no, they would say I deleted it. Like it's not at -1 because it doesn't exist because I the all powerful Commander
No,
Taco removed it from their
understand.
system.
I understand what
Personally.
you're saying. I'm just saying, you could just say, no, it's right there. You could literally link to it.
No, they would talk about a comment that doesn't exist. Like they would say, Rob didn't like that I said X, and then he deleted X, and X
Sure.
doesn't exist. X never existed. They're lying.
Solve for X.
Yeah, solve for X.
Got
That
it.
was always my pet
So
peeve.
you were mad that people lied on
Yes.
the internet?
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
All right, me too.
the world would
This
be a lot better
historical
if we didn't
review of
lie.
Things that happened 25 years ago is brought to you by Rob and Rob.
Oh yeah. Well, listen to the Rob's Kvetch.
Oh, I'm trying to move on.
Oh, all right.
late, man.
Let's see. What do we have next on
Start
the
now.
list? Oh, we've got the Captain America trailer, which doesn't look particularly interesting to me at all. But it does have one shot of Red Hulk at the end.
Oh, well, that's exciting. Is this a movie or
Yeah.
a series or?
No, this is just like the next episode.
Remind me, Falcon doesn't actually have powers, right?
No, he's just like a
No.
dude with a suit.
Yeah.
And a
He
shield.
doesn't have. He isn't filled with the super soldier serum. He's just
Right.
a dude with a suit who also has a neat shield now.
Yep. And
Why?
in all fairness, his suit does seem to appear to be like Tony Stark level technology.
Yeah. So like at first he was just supposed to fly and that sort of thing, give him a little bit of protection, but they have sort of ramped it up so that it almost seems like it's on par with Iron Man in some ways, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was so bad. And also so was the Nick Fury show. Like those were probably the two worst shows of the TV Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Well, even in the comic series, I don't think anyone was like, I don't know very many people whose favorite Captain America was this.
Yeah.
Well, my question for y'all is, did I find the most engaging scene? I think I did.
Maybe.
The big black void.
Yeah, it gives you mystery.
I just
suspense,
really hope they
curiosity.
get back to the storylines about shrimp boats in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was
such
really
gripping
valuable.
television.
I mean,
Yeah, our family is coming together to fix up this boat.
Yeah, maybe they moved on.
and the financing of small businesses in Louisiana parishes.
Yeah.
I mean that
Right.
was riveting.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And his unwillingness to go ahead and lean into his fame to help get a loan.
For
Right.
his sister? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
I understand that Tony is dead, but Goop Girl is still alive, and in theory, she's still in charge of an infinite amount of money. And
I hope there's at least 10 minutes of gripping paperwork scenes.
The American Economic Association gave this 6 Sigma, out of 7. So
wow. Hey Chris, skip to the last like 1 second of the trailer so I can screenshot Red Hulk.
okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched the trailer yet.
It's dumb.
And I do like Hulk. He's very
and that's the
enjoyable.
whole sales pitch right there, right? There he is. There's Red Hulk. That's all you get. You get his thighs, or you get his calves.
What, you get a thigh? Guess why? Hulk thigh?
There you go. Oh no, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
There was like one little tiny bit of chest.
Well, they're launching.
Is this Banner
Thunderbolts
or
soon,
is this
too.
Ross?
No, that's Ross. Well, in the comics. It's
Yeah,
Ross.
who knows? And Harrison
Thaddeus
Ford.
Ross, not his daughter.
Correct.
Harrison Ford is the president now. He's in the trailer.
I mean, I wish. Right? Wouldn't that solve so many things if we just convince Harrison Ford to run for president right now?
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I see interviews with that guy, and not to get all politicky, but he doesn't seem too much sharper than what we're choosing from.
Doesn't matter.
Harrison Ford. Yeah, he's too old too.
Yep. Okay, the next one we have on the list. I know
Do we have
Rob's
something else on the
Rob's gonna have a lot of opinions about
Oh,
this.
that
This is Wendell's thing on the Intel CPUs, and there's actually
a Gamers Nexus about
there's
this
a
too.
Gamers Nexus follow up, and I watched both of those. It's pretty interesting, and I assumed you might have shared this because you might have access to Steam data as well, which is kind of
No.
were.
Worse than that, my life has been ruined by our 13900Ks and 14900Ks mysteriously crashing.
Really?
You know, like
Interesting.
completely mysteriously. Yeah. So our West Coast production servers are absolutely suffering from this problem. So I need to go and reap a 12900K or 12700K and stick it inside the West Coast production server, like today before I leave on Monday. Because like
Wild. How often are
this
you?
is
How
this is
often are you
explained a
crashing?
lot. This machine that I'm using right now,
Mhm.
I had to ratchet the memory down to 4,000.
That's what
4
they said.
gigahertz,
That's what they said in the video
or
too. They
4,000
had
mega
to.
transfers per second, right?
Yeah, that's they
That's
said was
like-
the only solution is you had to basically cut their speeds down so that they were like performing like a generation behind on Ryzen hardware or something.
Yeah, and I've got a 7950X here as well that I'm going to rack up. I'm just like I'm so tired of this horse shit.
How often is it
You know?
crashing?
That's the thing. It crashes about every, depending on use, 3 to 7 days.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
That's
It's
bad,
just
but not like
mysterious.
it's just
what's
annoying
happening
enough.
is, so we're running containers on these things, obviously, right? And so if a container, this is why dev crashes more often than production, I'm convinced, because dev iterates a lot faster and a lot more than production, obviously, right? So if dev restarts containers with a new build, and one of those containers picks the wrong core, it just freezes. It doesn't, and I can't SSH to it. I can't run the console. I have to power cycle it. And it's like, meanwhile, the devs are like, we can't test what's going on.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
well, that's the thing is like when it's 3
So
days,
frustrating.
when it's 3 days, it's hard to freaking test for that.
it's hard to plan for it. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, and that's what a lot of this this video was
yeah,
about.
I'm sure Intel had a shipping schedule that they had to meet.
Right.
I mean, so we just have to work around it.
Yeah, the workaround is I've got some 12900Ks coming in the mail.
So-
I've got and I've got this AMD machine. The problem is also, it's not like I installed these things in carefully. I've got the contact frames, I've got the AIOs, so I got to pull them all out, and it's like, yeah.
Well, and the crazy thing about this, so the videos kind of go into this. We don't really know what the cause is. The evidence.
Steve clearly knows what the cause is.
He has a theory. The evidence is that is pointing to the fact that this is actually these things run for a certain amount of time and then something fries. Something physical in the chip is frying after a certain amount of load. And then after that, they become unstable. And because of that, once these things pop, it's not a microcode kind of fix. Maybe it's turn off the damaged core. I don't know what it is, but they're being cagey. Nobody really knows what it is, but they were kind of able to isolate it. It was kind of interesting because they were looking at Steam data and they were looking at crashes over thousands of clients, and they were able to actually track it down because of that. Because like we're saying, finding a bug that only occurs every 3 days is really, really, really hard. But if you have 1,000 PCs running the same code, then 3 days becomes an awful lot faster.
Yeah, I wish we were more popular. We see him more often, but yeah, it's been so frustrating. I'll be honest with you, it's been driving me a little crazy. So,
I wondered if this was affecting you when you shared the video.
oh yeah,
I was kind of thinking that might have been the deal.
to murder people.
I'm glad that's why I don't have anything newer than like a 12th gen Intel CPU running on anything.
Mhm.
Actually, you know what? I have a 13 gen now running my Plex server. Uh-oh. It's not a K
Yeah,
though.
but which one?
No,
Is it a 900K?
yeah,
I mean,
it's not a
it's really
900K.
the fire breathers, you know.
No, this is I have one of those little minis forum.
Well, those are fun.
Yeah, it's super sweet. It's got a 10 gigabit SFP port.
Yeah.
So my entire cluster now is all back end. It's all running 10 gigabit to do nothing except shuffle around video files and transcode. I have the most overkill setup. Let's see. We caught up on the boys.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about the boys?
I haven't watched any of the season. I'm waiting until
Oh
it's
my
done,
goodness.
and I just sit down and watch the whole freaking.
You know,
Binge.
that might actually be the right way to go.
Yeah,
Although Kat and I are having this is the one show right now where Kat is just like, we got a new episode, let's watch it now. Like we watched this week's episode, like it came out on Wednesday and we watched it on Thursday. And for Kat to care enough about a show to watch it within 24 hours of its release,
wow.
that should tell you what her level of engagement is. This season's been nuts. And I think, I don't know that I believe the people who are saying this is the worst season ever. I don't know that I believe that. I mean, I guess you can make that case, but I gotta say, all that's happening to me is this: they're just being increasingly less or more transparent with their allegories, and I'm loving that. But they're also really leaning hard into some gross out stuff.
Boy, aren't they?
Yeah. I will never want to eat cake again.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin things for Rob. I think it's still a decent show. I'm enjoying it. You know, there you go.
There you go.
And they said they're going to end next season, which I am all for. Don't drag it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep. It's done. It was great. It's done.
Let it be great.
Draw the line in the sand, hit that mark, and call it. That's
whatever you do, don't do the fucking thing 24 did. I remember when that show first came out, they did an interview with him. And they're like, it's really popular. You're going to do the season? And he laughed. And he's like, well, it's called 24. I don't know how we could manage to do that. How many seasons of 24 did they end up doing? How many bad days did that guy go through?
Well, yeah. You know, it's hard being Jack.
And they had 12 seasons. So, you know.
Yeah.
They should have had 24 seasons so that they could have had 24 24s.
Well, or they should have 28 days later it, you know, so it's 28 hours, 28 days,
right?
28 months, 28 years, yeah, or whatever, 23.
They're doing 28 years later.
Yeah, they're filming it right now.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Cool.
Did Garland write those?
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Garland.
And Boyle directed the first one, right?
Yeah, that's right. He's directing this one too.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
I have a soft spot for old Danny Boyle.
Yep.
I loves me some train spotting. Let's see. Rob, are you up on Acolyte?
No, I'm not up on anything. I haven't even watched any of the season of Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Or House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. Yeah. Whatever, you could call it the same thing.
It's a little, it's fine, you know.
I enjoy it, but it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like right now the only show that I'm gonna tune in and watch the next day, the only two right now are Acolyte and The Boys.
Yeah, I am not caught up in Acolyte, but I am not of the opinion that anything that you might say about it would spoil it for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that.
It's like that. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. I think that the first few episodes took a really long time to get going, but then they got rid of some characters, and that to me was my biggest objection with the first half of the season, is that there were so many characters And I'm like, well, who am I supposed to care about? Because obviously y'all aren't making it to episode 8. And since they got rid of, I don't know, like 6 or 7 named characters
It's
by where I'm at, and they've done a pretty good job of like giving me backstory now. There's one episode left, and there's still kind of 2 central questions left that they haven't answered. And I don't think that they've dropped a lot of hints for what those are yet.
Is it how Emmett Otter got into space?
Yep.
Left his jug band behind?
Yep. He smelled his way into low Earth orbit.
I'm a little irritated that that thing lived. I gotta be honest with you.
Basil?
Yeah.
I liked Basil.
Okay.
It's silly. There's nothing wrong with being silly.
Oh no, that's fine. It's just, they're on a planet with who in their world would be SEAL Team 6. And the otter lives? You know what I mean?
I mean, in all fairness, the otter didn't have a lightsaber. So he probably wasn't like number 1 on the target list.
I'm talking about all the monsters, all the creatures.
Oh, the moths?
No.
That's true. Yeah, the moths were a bit of a problem. No, I've enjoyed what they've been doing, and especially the last couple of episodes, because the last 2 episodes have basically all been, now we're telling you what was happening, and we're actually learning who these characters are and what they're about, and it's not about just going from place to place as people do mildly implausible things based on information we don't have. So I've enjoyed. I'm not saying it's 5 stars or anything, but it doesn't damage the brand, if that's a fair way to that's like the lowest bar to set media. Like the last season of Game of Thrones was so bad it damaged the brand.
It damaged television.
It probably damaged mine. Threw my shoe at it. But like that's like the bottom line. And a lot of media that comes out now just flat out. That was the thing with Captain America, the TV show. It damaged the brand. It made me
You mean
care.
the Falcon one?
Yeah. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show made me care less about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So now I am less interested in when this movie came out because they made such a poor product that they actively damaged their brand. And as you guys love to tease me, I have a pretty low threshold for
pain.
And I have a high threshold for pain. I have a great tolerance for where the line is for popcorn media. Last night I watched Paradise of the Phantom. It's the most amazing thing that you haven't seen. It's sort of a Phantom of the Opera story from 1974. Paul Williams, directed by Brian De Palma. Paul Williams wrote the music and the score, and it's basically a Phantom of the Opera thing, where Paul Williams is like the evil record producer, I think.
Sure, let's go with that.
And like they're gonna make a musical based on Faust, but people get injured, and so the guy has to wear an owl mask.
Sure. Let's go with that.
This one does.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil this for you because I think you should actually watch it. But like this again goes to my threshold for I will just watch 90 minutes of insane stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Zardos a little bit.
Yes.
In that it's you can tell it's made in the 70s when people were trying to make art films combined with sci-fi and other stuff and musicals, and this was an attempt at that, and it's not good, but,
no,
if you hadn't seen it, give it a look.
Oh my God, did you see that? He saw it in the theater on first run.
Nice.
Oh well, I think Ambaloo, I think you've now explained it. Now we understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I like watching really messed up weird movies that lean into the messed up weird, but also I am completely content popping a bowl of popcorn and just sitting back, turning off my brain and watching The Meg. This week I watched Shark Attack 3, the Attack of the Megalodon. I'm fine watching these sorts of movies. I have no pretense.
That has that wonderful love scene.
Yeah, we don't want to necessarily quote it.
Yeah.
That's the How Did This Get Made movie this week. And I'll watch that crap forever and be happy with it. But Captain America, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like, made me actively less interested in about what's going to happen. That's what Rise of Skywalker did. Like, to Star Wars. Like, I'm now less interested in future Star Wars. You damaged your brand, which I understand your goal making media is to make something entertaining, but at all costs, just don't damage the brand. Just hit par. That's all I need. Just hit par.
And to be clear, I love those movies and were hugely important to me as a child, but they're not great.
No.
You could easily make something as good as that.
You should be able to.
Yeah.
Guys, the greedy bounty hunter was named Greedo. They didn't try very hard. The guy in charge of the mob who might hire you to do jobs, his name was Jabba.
Yeah, for me it was Darth Sidious.
Darth Grievous. Barf.
But I'm saying you even go back to the very first movie, and it doesn't.
It's garbage naming.
It's fun.
That's my point. They're not great. They were just important to me as a child and kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for kids. You know, kids have no problem understanding. Hey, Greedo, he's probably a bad guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the guy named Maul is a bad guy.
Darth Maul's probably bad.
Seems plausible.
He's not full of Cinnabons, that's for sure.
Boba Fett, he's all about that weird Asian tea.
Yeah.
he likes boba tea. That was his thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, remember in the 80s when we were so naive? Is there any other
It's
media?
all just about the boba tea.
It's all about the boba tea. Is there any other media that I need to consume? Any recommendations from anybody?
No.
That sounds like a whole bunch of everybody's busy. All right. Let's say goodbye then.
Goodbye then.
Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
See ya.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
See you, bye.
That was episode 847 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Takamalda, and I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.